I can remember, longer than we can even remember. And people are trying to discredit it for having his own opinion. There's this, mob mentality, head mentality, that it must be the way they are seeing it. That is why we have issues. And I think they're beginning to understand how to use the social media, work on the people's mind. It is happening in Abia State. The reality is different from what they create up there. And they have mastered the act of using it. P2B used it very well to his advantage. And now, he had to rush into the matter, believing that his people, his followers are now trying to tilt towards Atiku. Before the court, he didn't have any issues with the certificate. He didn't have any issues there. So there was no need coming up with such a press conference. Is it trying to hit the polity or trying to twist the arm of the justices of the Supreme Court? If people tried this during the tribunal, at that tribunal level, it didn't work. Why do you believe it will work now? What is the impact? What is the essence of all these press conferences when you have something before the court and the court is already looking at it, and you brought a fresh so-called fresh evidence that will pull the president down, and you're calling press conferences to mop up public sentiment? At the end of the day, what matters is what is before the court. They are not going to be swayed either way based on the noise on social media. We are people who do not read again. Nobody takes time to research. I took time to do my research, and you now find out very few voices that will hold up to what they believe in against the cornucopia of noises out there trying to make you see from their own point of view. They do not listen to people, they only hear themselves. And that is where we are headed to. It's been on for some time now, and it's a dangerous trajectory for the nation. Our young people do not read. All what they know is leave the issue, attack people on social media, and no longer go to X. It's a crazy place. You bring up an issue, an expected logical conversation. You might not agree with me, but let us limit our conversation on the issue and hand on non-logic. But they will degenerate to the arena and bring all manners of, you say something, they come after you, they want to, cow you into silence and chase you out of the space. And you're wondering, to what end? Do we continue and listen to those people that live on social media, or pull back, get to the facts?
All right.
So that is the tragedy of today's social media. And now there is a member of the parliament in UK that they've pulled down his inbox, trying to complain against BBC for having an independent report. Must they listen to you? Must everybody sing your own, see things from your own point of view? People are bound to read and extract and hold their own opinion. Nobody must be forced to follow a particular mindset. That is the problem created since 2023 election cycle, where ethnicity was colored to be love of nation, where religion was colored to be love of state, and any person who doesn't believe in your narrative becomes an anti somebody who doesn't. This issue of morality takes place if you don't follow the mob. You don't have the moral standard to talk. You are what's it called? Corrupt, or you don't have integrity. So, but we that take our time to read, we maintain our stand because we have sifted through the document. We weren't guided by what the mob wants us, the mob leaders want us to, or the head leaders of the head want us to hear. We will go from our own opinion and then stand by it. And what is the opinion? That reputable firms, including the CSU, let me tell you, if a university comes out to state that they are the originators, they have made a statement that this man graduated from their school. That is all that is needed. Fishing for I that something was not dotted and your T was not crossed. These are expedition that doesn't take anybody nowhere. What's important that you finish from ABSU, and ABSU says this man is our student. In Nigeria, we play so much relevance on certificates, paper certificate. In America, they do not place so much relevance on paper certificate.
Are you trying to say that it is not important also?
No, it is. The dependent laws are different. Okay, American laws are not the same. It's not consistent with our own laws. So you brought something that happened in America. You have not tried to get our own, that's to look at the consistency with our own laws here. And you feel you can bring it like that and force it into our own system. No, we have our own laws to guide us. If Nigeria tertiary institution has so much reliance on certificates, that is why you have so much security on our certificates. And the American system is telling you, no, any vendor can produce it, but what is important is the transcript, the academic record with them, then you don't have to force the American system to become the Nigerian system. So if our own is relying on certificate, and if there's any error on the face of your certificate, it becomes an issue with you in Nigerian context. That shouldn't be the same thing when it happens somewhere else that reliance is placed on transcript, academic record, that they can open and look at your system. So I'm saying these are two different jurisdictions.
But before we leave this particular issue, you still advocate and still support that people go through academic process in Nigeria?
Yes, they should.
All right, let's leave it at that. Let us come down to our just state, Abia State, where we belong. The governor, Alex Otti, flagged off the reconstruction of the 6.8-kilometer Port Harcourt Road in Aba yesterday, with the promise of economic rejuvenation in the commercial nerve center of the state. Eric Ikwagu, I know you're of the People's Democratic Party, but you understand clearly how deplorable that road is, and then how important it is looking at economic activities in the state. Is this a cheering news to your party?
Yes, it should ordinarily be cheered. There is no Abian that wouldn't clap for that. And government is a continuum, I say. But then, what is important is value. Like, let me give you this analogy. You go into a restaurant and you are served with wonderful meal, okay? After eating very tasty meal, and you are asked to pay 50,000 for that plate of food. Now, you will step back and start wondering, does it worth it? Yes, wonderful food before you are told the bill, before you are given the bill. Now, what I'm asking is, we love continuity, but there are some basic aspects that are missing. There has been this opacity with the way the government runs Abia, as if it is a personal fiefdom. We are troubled by the so much secrecy, okay, the lack of transparency, the accountability that is involved in this process. Now, like I said, there is this manipulation that has taken place since the 2023 election season, from 2020. There's this manipulation. You get people, you twist their mind, and you get them where you want them to be. You manipulate them. They only see from your point of view. Any other attempt to look at the other side becomes an issue. Now, Okezie Ikpeazu is no longer in government, but there are things he did, and this government of today criticized Okezie Ikpeazu that they couldn't even find one particular thing that the man did right. Okay, now you're coming today to use the same Ikpeazu as your reference point. Now, the problem I have with that Port Harcourt road is I had waited to hear cost. I had waited to hear what the governor will say is the cost, the cost of that particular road and the scope. Remember, there's a difference between reconstruction, rehabilitation, and construction of a road. So I didn't get to hear that what he gave. The speech was so much full of sound bites. There are no specifics that one has to hold hand on. Whereas some people can clap and be happy about the road, which yes, everybody should. But then when you come to specifics and you ask how much, and when you ask such questions, the next thing you will hear is, did Okezie Ikpeazu tell you how much he did his own? So we should be in comparison with not doing the right things. Is that what they want to tell me? Now remember, the Port Harcourt road already has drainages end to end. That terminated to a pond that takes care of it. That is the major part of that road. So if he had told us the scope the Julius Berger people are going to come with, we can be able to situate the cost. And now we are saying, how much is it going to cost the taxpayers to do that road? We are clapping, but not everybody is in sync with just coming up to be bamboozled with doing a less than 6 kilometer road with 30 billion naira. Meaning, a kilometer road is about 1 billion. No matter the exchange rate differential, it is out of the world. It is out of logic. Okay, it beats logic to say, if the governor has not come out to tell us this is the amount that this road is going to cost, and from information we would have heard that it is 30 billion for that road, for less than 6 kilometer road, it is worrisome. No matter what you're going to use on that road, remember, there is drainage already on that road. So he's going to do, what he's doing there is rehabilitation. of that road. He's not constructing a fresh road. So even if he's constructing a fresh road, the designs have been paid for. The designs are already there from African Development Bank. So the question is, and nobody can push me away from asking this question, what is it going to cost? Are the taxpayers? How much? And what is the scope of work? What is the process? You see, you can't just sit down in your room and award contracts. And there is this allegation that the MD of Julius Berger has interest in Signature Bank. So there is conflict of interest. If it is where democracy works, we should be questioning that. But because people have been so much manipulated, nobody asks basic questions. Now, you can't lay a wrong president in trying to do what is right. What is the House of Assembly input in that particular project? Did he pass the scrutiny of the House of Assembly? What was the bidding before it was given to Julius Berger? At what cost? And Abia cannot even afford the 30 billion you're talking about. When there are alternatives, Soku that did this Enugu Port Harcourt road is an equally good company, cheaper than Julius Berger. And we are saying, did you try other alternatives? Is there any linkage between, why must it be Julius Berger? There are construction companies that are equally very good, as I say. You have the CCC, you have Arab contractors that are much cheaper. Can we afford a 1 billion naira kilometer road? We don't know if it's going to come with street lights. Does it have flyovers? What exactly makes up that 6 billion a kilometer when we have already done the very difficult work of drainage? So the question still remains: what is it going to cost Abia taxpayer? Yes, it is a good thing to continue with projects started by other your predecessor. But then we want to ask, what is the cost? No matter how you criticize the ASU government, the government was able to come out to say, this and that is what it's going to cost us. We're going to, okay, just yesterday, Enugu State Governor flagged off over 300 kilometer roads. Criminals were not brought in. But immediately after their ESCO meeting, the Commissioner Information was able to say that they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 roads. They're going to spread it according to so and so local government, and it's going to cost them so and so amount, and it's going to, the duration is so and so. Okay, now he flagged off a whole lot of roads yesterday. We didn't see it anywhere. They didn't call the entire world just to inaugurate a road. Then when you want to commission it, maybe you pull out CNN and BBC to do that. What we are saying is, there has to be a measured way of doing these things. There has to be communication between yourself and Abians. Yes, there are Abians that can clap, that you have staged to clap for you, manipulated to clapping for you. There are still some discerning Abians that will sit down and ask very tough questions. What is the cost? It is only when we know the cost that we can place value on that road. Yes, it is good. It leads to economic prosperity because that road is a very important economic road. But then, to what cost? If we do not know the cost, somebody like me wouldn't come, politics apart, wouldn't come out to start clapping. Because as I gave you an analogy about the food, now you ate a very wonderful meal, you're happy, but the cost will not be conformity with whatever pleasure you derive from eating that food. That is why we say, if we do not know the cost effect of all these things to the taxpayer, then there is nothing to cheer about. Wonderful news, continuity, that is wonderful, like he has done in all the projects that he has been able to touch here and there. Those are projects from his predecessors. Wonderful, he's trying to do them, but then we have not had cost. There is no cost that is attached to any of these projects, and it is worrisome. Then another angle is the process. Who does the bidding? How do you get to this particular cost to these projects? Did it pass through the scrutiny of the House of Assembly? Do we even have a House of Assembly in Abia State these days? So these are questions that worries.
But there is a House of Assembly.
Yes,
in Abia State.
yes, there is a House of Assembly. But what I mean, the question is rhetorical in the sense that, in function, we should have been hearing their input to these things. We should have been, at least before now, we used to hear engagement where they even disagree with the executive, where you have the House of Assembly under the leadership of Energy go to sites to look at what is happening and give his own input to it. So we want to see those robust engagements. because they are there to engage and check the executive. So it's not supposed to be bringing 2 people, 3 people together and getting approval. We need to hear robust conversation about all these projects. So my worry is, if there is an associated cost to what from the speech the governor gave yesterday, I would be here talking about it, but there was no cost, and we hear 30 billion, and to me, to any sensible adult, it is just too much.
All right, Eric, before we leave this particular issue, as you have said, I understand clearly that the previous administration under the then governor, Dr. Ukeze Ikmazu, constructed about 40% of that road. And yet, then nobody said something about it. Your worries today, do you think your worries are concerned to Abians who are looking for dividends of democracy?
Dividends of democracy without cost is equals to T. That is the mentality I'm still talking about. 40% of the road. Nobody knows the scope of work that was allocated to Julius Berger. And we are hearing 30 billion. So 30 billion on a project that's already done 40%. Come on, it's crazy. And we need to ask these hard, tough questions. You can't perpetuate corruption, something that seemingly looks like a corrupt act, because I have tried to ask questions, and there is nowhere, even with the present reality of dollar differential, that you can do a kilometer road with 1 billion naira. The government has to come out clean and tell us, at least let us hear from them. If not, we are going to hold on to the 30 billion, which translates to more than 1 billion naira, because it's less than 6 kilometer road for a 40% project. You're not going to start from the scratch. I say the drainages has been constructed. The drainages yes, have been constructed and emptied at a pond. So that is the major work on that road. The remaining is less than 60%, and you're awarding less than 60% to Julius Berger for 1 billion naira. It is too much. That is the worry. Remember, these are 2 things. It is good he's continuing on the project, but he's not starting afresh. He's starting from a particular place the former government left it. So, and give and take is around 40%, and what you have to do on that road is less than 60%.
All right,
and they are doing it for 1 billion naira. It is too much.
All right, Eric, you've made an obvious allegation here. I was actually allowing you to drop before I pick it up, that the Abia State House of Assembly is not aware of what is happening. And we understand that such projects would not be implemented without their knowledge or their input. But do you have evidence to substantiate what?
No, I said I would have loved to see an Abia State Assembly that is alive. Okay? I didn't hear anywhere. Before now, the speaker used to have a chief press secretary who gives us input daily on what they do. So if there is the only thing I heard about was the environment sometime of some certain amount moved within 30 minutes. Now, if there is something they have done on this particular, it is not to my knowledge. It is not to the knowledge of most Abians. So there has to be communication. And I still say it till tomorrow that there is lack of communication between the government. Now, if you are not communicating the cost, if you're not communicating whatever input you make as House of Assembly to the cost, because if you're not hearing from the governor, we should hear from the House of Assembly to say, we have approved 30 billion for Port Harcourt Road. We should hear it from them too. So we are not hearing it. So it is breed corruption. So if you are open, if you tell Abians how much avenue to question, to say how much is it going to cost Abians, so that we can go back and enjoy the value.
All right, Eric,
of that road.
Let us leave that particular issue. We'll come back to it as the program is progressing this morning. Yesterday in Abia State, there was a press release by the former Commissioner for Trade and Investment, Chief John Okeyekalu, on alleged intimidation of opposition parties and critics of the Dr. Alex Otis government. Is it a way of this government trying to silence the opposition parties? He mentioned a lot of things. He talked about the life of his family members and his life as well being at stake.
If I tell you the number of anonymous calls I get threatening me, if I show you my inbox and tell you the number of threats I get, you will wonder, why should we be where we are today? Now, opposition is a very, very, very terrible tool. It's as old as democracy. Without opposition, there's no democracy. And you will agree with me that we have tried to maintain logic and constructive criticism all this while. Before now, people will leave logic to talk about family, to talk about irrelevant things. But I told myself that I'm going to limit my way of putting this government to check by very constructive ways and very logical arguments. I've always tried to maintain the cause, but still people are very, very angry about it. I get people call me with blocked numbers and there's nothing they wouldn't threaten me about. I get afraid moving around because of the so much threat I get. Now the other day, the one ex-Steven that's always doing podcast was still saying that they threatened to take his picture, frame him up and put his picture at billboards across Abia Poly and Abia State University. So you wonder, the same thing from Chief John Okiyikalo. These threats are becoming too much. They framed some other one lady that spoke her mind about the government. She has been framed and she doesn't know where it's coming from. So we are saying that you should live and let live. You've played opposition before. Nobody intimidated you, nobody threatened you, nobody was sent after you. But now people are being intimidated, and you can't cow everybody into silence. People must talk. The beauty of democracy is this robust conversation, seeing things from every point of view. Now let me tell you something. When workers were sacked, it is still this opposition that screamed to high heaven that made the government pull back and allow those who were engaged by December 2022 to come back. Before now, if opposition didn't come to shout about it, it would have happened. Nobody would have been called back. But there's constructive engagement. The government looks back and scale back on some certain things. But when you remove opposition and everybody becomes a cheerleader on his own for the government runs an autocracy and believes he's doing what is right. But that check must come from the citizens. It must come from civil organization. It must come from the House of Assembly. It must come from Abians. And as an Abian, I have the right to say this didn't go well. That is up to the government to look at it. But trying to muzzle people into silence. A friend of mine, Ikechukwu Iroha, is today slammed with a 1 billion suit for asking questions. Today, there is a relationship between Alex Otis, Signature Bank, and Julius Berger.
Eric, these are allegations you are putting up on this program. You said that he has an interest. The Julius Berger manager has an interest.
It is online. It is online. It is online. It is online. There is the MD of Julius Berger has an interest in Signature Bank. He's the chairman. What was said yesterday, this guy's podcast. I'm quoting somebody. Okay, quoting ex-Steven. He said there's a relationship. What I'm saying, if such issue comes up, you don't slam people with lawsuit. You come out and explain that this man doesn't have a relationship with the bank. This man doesn't. It is because of the so much secrecy that throws up all these controversies. I'm telling you what is out there.
All right, just hold your thought.
I'm coming. I'm telling you what is out there. That the information out there is that he has a relationship with Signature Bank. The MD has a relationship with Signature Bank, and the chairman of Julius Berger. There's a relationship between him and Signature Bank and the governor. Now, this is a rumor out there, and I'm bringing out that rumor out for.
And don't you think it should remain a rumor at the main?
Now, what the government should do is to come out.
Do you have evidence with you aside the rumor?
I said somebody brought.
Substantiate this.
Somebody brought. It's in my phone. Somebody brought the legal profile of the chairman.
All right, just hold it.
Let us observe a short break. And that of Signature Bank. I'll pull it out for you now.
All right, let us observe a short break. This is the Abia Democrats. Please stay with us while we go on a short break.
Connection is very important, especially when it's strong, and you don't realize this until you are cut off. Keep your connection strong at home or on the go.
Experience this smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Monster Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Monster Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Monster Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Monster Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Monster Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Monster Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium.
Welcome back to the Abia Democrats, where we look at emerging issues and matters in Abia State and in Nigeria generally. And then I still have in the studio a public affairs analyst, Eric Ikwagu, analyzing and addressing these issues this morning on the Abia Democrats. Let us move up quickly. Yesterday there was protest in Aba and Umahia by tricycle riders about harassment and challenges with the e-ticketing platform. Remember, they said that the harassment was carried out by government officials. Of course, it is making life difficult for them. What is your party's response to this development, Eric?
Well, just like what we keep saying, remember the government came out to tell us that they have abolished touting, they have abolished agberote, so to say, collecting money. They are back today with full complement of government support, disturbing Keke people. And something worrisome happened when the governor went to Nsoka to deliver a speech on the 63rd. I was worried when I heard that speech, when he said that they have credit for SMEs and low-income earners. And I see Keke as people as the lowest rung of economic ladder when it comes to stratification. And I worry that instead of give them tax credit to cushion the effect of subsidy removal, you are emburdening them with tax and brought up a system that is not reliable. You brought up a system that is plagued with incessant network issues, and they have to pay for the glitches network glitches, they have to suffer for that, and it's worrisome. The same thing that happened to civil servants, you say, that are ghost workers. They go and they go for verification. Network is down. The system is not well constructed. They're having issues to impute their departments of all this. They now have to pay for the lapses and glitches caused by your own system. Does it work that way? Now, government should be about human. Government should be humane enough to know the pains. They don't know the economic problems that were being faced today, because of subsidy removal. You gave a speech about cushioning the effect of subsidy removal, and I say, apart from the 3,000 bags of rice which you said got to the poorest of the poor, and in Abia, the reality is that it was shared through Labour Party structure, where they shared it among themselves. It might not be the problem with the governor, but I had problems with handing it over to party chairmen to share. Normally, this thing, when we did that of 2020 COVID, it was through President General, through Students' Union government, through the churches, through the communities. But in this case, it was given to party chairman. The governor wouldn't be there to know what they did. But the problem was handing it over for the first time to the local government chairman. And they called their boys and shared it to them. And you go on air to tell Enugu audience that it got to the poorest of the poor. It is worrisome. You went there to tell them that there is tax holidays for poor income earners. And I asked, these keke men, are they not poor income earners? Are they not supposed to be on tax credit, really on tax holiday? They are not. The reality is, you tell your national audience that these guys are on tax holiday, but they pay. Yesterday there was demonstration, and there's this kepu we see here about the painting of keke for 18,500. These are controversies out there that we expected the government to deal with. Now, if there was associated cost or there's a transparent bidding to that Port Harcourt road, do you think that trying to fish out what is online between the relationship between the Signature Bank chairman and that of Julius Berger, it wouldn't be necessary again? But it's fueling a whole lot of the conversation, a lot of controversy out there, that this thing needs to be put in proper perspective. Now, the KK men are arguing. Most of them are not lettered, and it subjects them to the use of internet, and these internet systems are not reliable, and they are telling you that these glitches shouldn't make your algorithms come after them, and it's burdening them.
Why are you calling them agboros? Are they not government officials?
No, see, the KK men themselves, I'm paraphrasing the KK men. I heard one say Agbero, the one that brought me to your station, say Agbero, no, they allow them work again. So I'm paraphrasing. See, when I speak, it's not me. Maybe I get information from people, and I aggregate what their thoughts are, and I put it out there. Not necessarily my own thought, but I hear from people. If you go to my inbox and see a number of emails, a number of text messages I get from people who are affected by this massacre. Yesterday was Osisioma local government. They protested, and we were made to believe before now that Okezi Azu owed 1 million months salary. But doesn't it surprise you that all these pockets of demonstration and protest against payment of salary from one local government to the other is just about 4 months, 5 months? To tell you, it has been propaganda all this while. Now, you want to say that you are encumbered by what Governor Ikpeazu didn't do or what he did right. But if Governor Ikpeazu owed 1 million month salary, and you started from your own point and cleared, it would have been just that 1 million salary remaining. But these workers are still talking about just 4 months salary.
All right, Eric.
And they are protesting about it. So when you try to create a picture up there that's not in consonant with the reality, we owe it as a duty to tell Abian, to tell the world that no, it is not the reality. That's the amount of money that is being spent to push whatever as the minutest information from Abia to national news is worrisome. That money could be used to offset the salaries of teachers who were just sacked the other day.
All right,
and you worry why the opacity in doing these things. Government should come out and tell people that we've disengaged teachers, but these things are done as if you're in the bank when you come to work one day and your password is removed. That is bye-bye for you.
All right, Eric, I believe that's of the payment of salary. The government has been on it, if you would agree with them. But let us keep that and then move on with other issues. Last time you were here, I can remember clearly we discussed the local government administration under this present government. It's 6 months and counting. Though the government at the point said that they are focusing on administration and not local government elections, but the governor is using TC chairman in running local government administration.
When? Where?
Is that not what he's doing? Okay, let us leave that if that's your position. But how would you address the impact of local government administration under the
Nothing is happening in the local government. The local government is an independent entity created by law to stand on its own. It is the closest government to the people. Call it any name. Call it EC chairman. Give it to somebody that's from that locality. He will be able to impact something. No matter what, the worst EC chairman is better than holding the seals of the 17 local government to yourself. Nothing is happening in the local government. It's been worrisome.
Are you trying to say the government is running the local government?
Yes, it is an annexure of the. Yes, it is. Nothing is happening there. The local government is an independent entity created by law to stand on its own. The closest government to the people. I am from Isukwato local government. If you appoint a TC chairman, a sole administrator, name it, your election. But I remember he criticized the use of TC chairman, and today they are reverting. Though he has not done it, 4 months counting, it is still you running the affairs of the local government, and it is crippling the local government system. Let me tell you why I say this. I come from a local government. If you engage somebody, you appoint somebody from Isukwato local government, for instance, as a TC chairman, he has people, he has his locality to look at. He has people he is responsible to. He cannot come to work without engaging 1 or 2 persons. And there are things he will start spending money for them to do, even if it means clearing the vicinity, even if it means doing the basic things like road grading. So I call on him to release those seals to name TC chairman, name councillors. It is a way of working on your security too, because these things are local. If our young boys in the villages are engaged as TC councillors, you see they are engaged. In the morning they come there to talk about. It brings responsibility. They talk about the running of the local government, and otherwise I don't mind. We'll be engaged in the local government affairs, and I don't think somebody who is now saddled with running the affairs of the local government will be engaged in vices. So what we are saying is, it is high time he looks at the issue of holding sales of the Secretariat local government. It is never created to be an annexure by the state. It is independent, and nothing is happening there. And people are protesting every day. You try to discharge it that is paying salaries. For how long? People, human beings, my inbox is filled up with complaints coming out from different quarters that people are being owed. These are families. No matter what you are doing, no matter what you want to tell me that is happening, if so far there are pockets and thousands of people who still protest from one local government to the other, there are still issues. Human beings' lives are involved. Families are involved. People are crying. And you want me to go with this bandwagon effect? I beg to differ. If he has sorted those problems, I wouldn't see Osisioma people yesterday before it was Okwa West, Ogunabo, Umuahia North. And yesterday it was Osisioma, and you're telling me they are not human beings? When you just discharge it that he's paying salaries, those are on paper. The nitty-gritty, as you say, there is a world of reality out there and the virtual world out there. People live in the virtual world. They do not research. They get carried away by what's being dictated for them. But it's a few of us who decide to stand and watch before we leave. And we are saying, if these things has been sorted, there is no way Osisioma would have been under lock and key yesterday. There is no way Okwa West, Ogunabo would have been under lock and key at one time or the other. Sort this problem. Government is not easy. I know that. That is why we say nobody expects you to do everything at once. It is a process. Remember, Obama of America came with so much fanfare, so much celebration, but America is still having problems. They're still solving problems. Alex Oti will go tomorrow. There will still be problems. Abia will still be solving problems. Governors will still come to solve problems. No one governor can solve the problems of a state given even 20 years. All so right. What I'm saying is, he has set a standard for himself, and we are judging him based on the standards he set for himself. Now, a social critic that he was before he got into government is supposed not to get to government from the 0 level. He's starting government from -0 level even. He's supposed to engage government as somebody who has been around the government structure for a long time. We shouldn't be engaged in this wishy-washy kind of governance.
Right,
he should have taken government to a certain level that we can say, okay, this is somebody who has tried to be governor for more than 3 times, and now he has gotten it. But we are still into this push me, I push you kind of government, sending your media aids against people who with dissenting voices, trying to cow people into silence.
But there is no.
Good morning, Mr. Ben.
You're welcome, sir.
And good morning, the guests in the studio.
Good morning.
I want to say this one. I'm coming from Omaha.
All right.
Sir, with all due respect, we interpret our processes today. I am a secretary here in Omaha. The reason of our process is to invite people, and the network do not allow you to receive. Just respect because of multiple transactions. Yeah, before, you pay 100 naira, 200 naira, Omaha no local government. Don't see local government, 200 naira, equal no local government, and also pay 100 naira at power. If you calculate all of you, spending up to 1,000 naira, but now we spend only 300 naira. Even if you like, enter our bank, nobody will talk to you again. You are here praising a man that has subjected the people of Nigeria into access poverty under 4 months. You are here praising him, and now he's crediting a man that has come to the life of
all right, thank you. Your point.
They are still playing politics. That's the reason why Nigeria will not be better.
All right, thank you. Your point has been noted. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Mr. C.
You're welcome. This is Moses.
My name is Mr. Stanley Uaza, aka Onyeze.
All right.
So, and like what you people are talking, you know, government will continue something, as you rightly said, and you are speaker there. You know, OKG Bazu and the past administration did some roads that are very, very much important to our states. As he did those ones, when as the new government have come, they have to continue where OKG Bazu stopped. Not to condemn everything that they did not do anything, they did not say it as the past caller have said. So, as OKG Bazu did flyover, unless it will not go back and do the flyover again. Granted that he has done maybe one quarter of Port Harcourt Road, yes, it's okay for Alex Obi. Let's to start where he stopped, because we said that government is a continuous thing. So for me, there are some people that are criticizing that don't know what they are saying. You know, a kind of they bank their argument on one person, one particular.
All right, your point has been noted.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. We appreciate. Good morning and welcome.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm sending my regards to the analyst in the house.
Your name, please, and location.
Yes, my name is Uche from Ohafia.
All right.
I want to thank you for this great program. It's very interesting. And my own opinion in the issue of Chifoki Ikalo is irrelevant. I think whatever any PDP member should be saying now is apologizing to we Nigerians and we Adjans for putting us into this darkness. Because I don't know, it was the 9 billion naira project awarded to Honorable Chimanwa for or what? Because that was the PDP's contractor. Shameless people, they shouldn't be.
Please, we will not accept that. You have to withdraw that statement, Uche. Please.
Okay, I withdraw it because I know it was the engineer that was handling some of the contract. So how can a 9 billion naira do a project of Port Harcourt Expressway? It's
all right.
Expressway.
Your point,
not a local streetway.
Your point has been noted.
What I'm saying in effect is that most of the roads that PDP did has collapsed. In Abba, you see it. You go there and confirm. Most of the roads done by PDP has been destroyed. So why would 9 billion naira do an expressway? It's a shame. That is great.
All right.
Okay, Carlo.
Please, I've told you. Please, whenever you call in, be civil with your contribution, despite whatever is happening at the moment. Let us take note of that, because we will not tolerate it going forward. You're welcome to the program. We lost that call. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
It's Chiku, calling from Omai.
All right.
It's Chiku. So what I would say concerning that project, first, along that previous government did not compensate, and now they are compensating for the people of Osa. It's injustice. They should endeavor to compensate. Government is continuing to compensate those people they previously demolished their property. And secondly, that allegation that it does not pass through the legislature is wrong. An imputable offense, governor, executive governor to appropriate funds without authorization of parliament. Finally, such amount of money going to the road construction. I'm not a fan of road celebration. I'm more than investment. The governor should know that road is not investment. You know, every sitting governor in Nigeria must be worried about our population that will explode in possible years to be 420 million with no industries.
All right, you have made your point.
You understand? We are living in a kind society. That's why America will tell you, yes, don't go here. Because they are studying the situation.
All right, thank you.
But to all of us, what we all know is road. Here, 20 road. Because that's the easy way to make money. Why?
Thank you so much. You've made your point. We appreciate your contribution. From our text message, this one is saying that I love your program. You are doing marvelously well, Eric. Thanks from Comrade Precious Chumba. Before we leave the studio, and your reactions to what our callers have established this morning, Eric, we understand clearly last week after the governorship tribunal judgment that was in favor of the incumbent governor, Alex Oti, he extended olive branch to opposition parties in Abia State. And also, I can say for sure that your party made a statement with regards to that. But at this point, what's your party's position on that judgment?
Well, that was hypocrisy at the highest order, if I may say that. I can remember when the elections took place and candidates declared, the then governor of Abia State, Dr. Kezi Bazo, was the first person that asked that, because he has been a victim of litigation, and asked that no PDP members should, particularly the governorship candidate, not to attempt going to court. The party was still trying to ruminate over that before they started getting summons from Labour Party people who lost out in the House of Assembly election. So it became worrisome that while the governor then was trying to reach out and extend olive branch, it was never accepted by the Labour Party. So they went to court first. Before we responded, I said, okay, let's get out and do it. And let me tell you this. It is a process. Remember, election is not a one-day thing. It's a process. It starts from point A and terminates at point Z. And we are at the point Z now. And the point Z is at 3 stages. Stage 1, stage 2, and the last stage. We will go all through the stages, like I normally call it story building. So we just finished the first story building. And because they know that there are tendencies of the first court to err in their judgments and miscarriage justice, that's why they created 3 layers. So we have grievances with what they did, and we are going to take it up till the Supreme Court.
All right,
Why the Supreme Court decides, we take it. And let me say this finally, that if you listen to your callers, they don't listen to others, they listen to themselves. And when you stay in a corner and speak and listen to yourself, you will not open your mind to listen to what others have to say. I never said that what OT is doing at Port Harcourt Road is not good, but I'm worried about the cost.
Right.
And I'm worried about the cost. That is and the company doing it, and the scope of work. That is my own
Thank you.
grounds.
Thank you so much, Eric. Of course, he is the public affairs analyst, Eric Ikwagu, for your time on the Abia Democrats today.
Thank you so very much.
Let us do this again next week, Friday. My name is Moses Ben. Thank you